It's just a man. What the bird is barbecuing.
G'day jabronis, it is the Verd, back with you again, and yes, I am here as your coach of the Tampa Bay Frogadiers, and this is week 1 of NPL Majors Season 7, and I was so nervous for this game, because obviously, first game in Majors, want to make a good statement, but obviously not an easy challenge up against Seb, or top tier boy, link always in the description. He's a very, very good battler. I did have a very good team matchup, as you'll see in the team builder below. Team builder that you should have seen. If you haven't, I'll put a link in the description for it. But yeah, the team that he brought was very interesting. No Galvantula and no Rain, with very surprising things for me. I figured maybe he would bring them, but he didn't. So for me, that was kind of nice. But at the same time, he did bring the Articu-No, which I haven't really prepped as much for as I would have liked to. But everything else was pretty much exactly what I was expecting him to bring. Looking at his team, it did look incredibly Kartana weak. His team didn't really have that many Kartana checks, but the plus side of Mew and Tangrowth is both of them are weak to X-Scissor, so I can kind of take advantage of that, but he does have a lot of different risky things. But regardless, I was looking at the matchup and I said to myself, right, well, I think my best play, regardless, is going to be leading off with my Nihilego. For like a summary, I guess, of my team again, I have SD 3 attacks Pinsir, with the Feint for the outspeeding of his Mons, as well as catching if he brought the Tornadus, the Tailwind. Then I've got lead Nihilego with the Sash. It's got Rocks, Hidden Power Ice for that Chomp, the Thunder to hit his Water, Flying types, all that jazz. Also capitalizes on Pelipper's Rain, and then finishing off I had Sludge Wave just as a general damaging move. Bulu was Scarfed, Zygarde was the trapping set. He did bring the Tangrowth, so I was really hoping I could trap it with Zygarde in this game. Then I had banded Kartana, and finishing it off we had the defensive Tentacruel with the Sugarberry to take advantage of Garchomp, as well as the Swampert with Giga Drain in Grassy Terrain being the kind of main way to beat that. But regardless, let's enough jibber jab. Let's get into the game. So I lead Nihilego, he leads Garchomp. I decided to go for Rocks turn 1 to see what he wants to do. He does EQ, brings me down my Sash, and I'm like, okay, well, from this point, like, I was tempted to go for the attack first, then go for the Rocks, but the reason why that's a bad play is because if I know this Garchomp is Scarfed and he went for EQ first and brought me down my Sash, then I could have gone hard out to Bulu, or predict him to want to switch predicting Bulu, and then, you know, go for my Rocks, do a play like that. So because of that, Rocks was a much safer play regardless. It pressures his team a lot since his only defog options are Mew and Articu-No, so felt pretty solid with that. Decided to go for the HP Ice this turn because I figured, well, maybe he doesn't know that I have it, but I do go for it. It doesn't do that much to Mew. I am going to get a crit on this Sludge Wave, but it doesn't matter because the Mew is going to go for Roost. So that was basically just a null and void turn, like literally nothing happened there. I decide what I'm going to do here with Nihilego is spam Sludge Wave, because either I'm going to get the poison, or I'm going to put Mew in range of my Kartana's +1 X-Scissor. Sorry, not +1. I'm going to put him in range of banded Kartana X-Scissor. So Kartana's going to come out here. It is a definite KO on defensive Mew, so Mew goes down. I'm like, fantastic. That means that was one of his better, bulkier Mons. Like defensively, it was very hard to deal with, and even offensively, really hard to deal with. So the fact that it was gone this early was fantastic. He goes Tangrowth here, and the reason he went Tangrowth was because he didn't know if I was max attack expert belt, or if I was banned, and because of that, he went Tangrowth, knowing that if I was banned, he would lose this. Well, even if I was banned, it depended on his Tangrowth set. If he was fully max defense after Rocks, it's a 25% chance to kill. If he is not max defense, he will drop. And I was thinking, looking at my team, maybe he would have a little bit of special bulk, maybe he'd be AV or something to take things on, so maybe he wasn't fully invested, so I decided to just capitalize on the situation and go straight for that X-Scissor, and we are able to knock that Tangrowth straight out, and Kartana is taking freaking lives, and he goes into the Keldeo, goes to the Secret Sword. I go to Bulu. Reason I went Bulu there, I could have gone Tentacruel, but I figured if the Keldeo was going to go for sub, it was much better for me in this situation to go hard Bulu. I figured he wouldn't sub either because the X-Scissor from Kartana would just break the sub. So, I mean, he could have subbed after taking the X-Scissor hit, but again, like, it just was very null and void. Bulu gives me a lot more advantage though, because basically nothing on his team wants to come in now against this Woodhammer. The fact that I didn't even need this Zygarde set to work was awesome. So now what I can just do is drop Woodhammers on his team. Gramble comes in. Gramble is not really a switch into Bulu, as you're going to see. Woodhammer's doing a clean 51. Unfortunately, because of the grassy terrain though, I am going to put the Gramble up to a range of health where it might be able to live another one, and I don't want to risk losing my Bulu because of how important it is in this matchup, so I'm going to go hard out to Tentacruel as he gets to the playoff. Now here I make a bit of a misplay in the long run, so at this point, Gramble's chilling at a decent range of HP. Now, I was tempted to go for my T-Spike. What I should have realized was there is a chance that Kuno could come in. I can't really touch it with this Tentacle set, and it could go for Defog. What I should have done this turn, since there's no real reason for Gramble to stay in and die, I should have gone back hard to my Kartana, because Seb was not going to go hard Garchomp on a Tentacruel. He was either going to, you know, stay in with Gramble and click Earthquake, or he was going to go hard Kuno, and that way I was able to shut down both options, because Earthquake doesn't do that much to Kartana. And then also, Articu-No, what was I going to say? Articu-No takes the Stealth Rocks, and then it's pressured out by Kartana, and then it's left with like 1 HP coming back in. If I can just shut it down with a faster Mon, then we're all good. And most Mons on my team, actually, every Mon on my team outspeeds Articu-No in this game. So if I'd done that play, that would have been good. But instead, what I decided to do, which is probably a bad play at this point of the game, was I decided to go for a T-Spike, not realizing, obviously, that this could be a Defog Articu-No. And again, what I should have done this turn is gone hard out to my Kartana for pressure, but I decided to go for another T-Spike, being like, he's just going to go for Freeze Dry, and of course he doesn't, he goes for Defog. So that was just bad play on my behalf. But you know what? I decided to go for T-Spike now, because I figured he might just go for Roost. And then on this turn, I'm going to predict the Defog and go out to my Kartana, as Kartana does pressure a lot of his team. He doesn't really have a switch in for it, as he's going to go out to his Gramble, which is just going to absolutely drop to the Smart Strike. So Kartana with 3 kills to start this game, putting in a lot of work, and we are looking really strong here. He goes back out to Keldeo. Does have to go to Tentacruel this time, predicting him to want to predict me to go out to Bulu, as he does go out to Garchomp. I fire off a Scald here as he gets the SD up, and I'm like, okay, this is a problem. But then I realize, okay, it's a problem if he is the subset. So that's the one thing I forgot to do that I really should have done, is I should have put enough special attack investment in my Tentacruel to ensure that sub-Salak Garchomp wasn't an issue. And I'm sitting here like, shit, if this is sub-Salak, I'm in a lot of trouble. But he may have thought that maybe I was Ice Beam. He potentially was Yachi. I didn't actually get to see his item. But I realized that from this range, after that Scald, Banded Kartana's Leaf Blade will knock out Garchomp 100% of the time. So he jabs, predicting Bulu as I just go for another Scald, and I am able to snag a nice nifty burn. I decided, like, because I was Sugarberry, I had a chance to actually live that EQ from Garchomp because of my defensive investment, so there was no real reason for me to risk. Plus, Keldeo at this point I know has, well, at this point I don't exactly know what kind of Keldeo set he is just yet. But Articu-No I know I can beat with things like the Mega Pinsir, the Kartana and whatnot, and then Keldeo I can also run over if it's not Scarf. So he goes to the EQ now as I eat that up with my Sugarberry, and I actually decided to go for a T-Spike. Reason for this is because it pressures his team a lot, depending on how I play this next turn. What I should have done here, as you'll see on this next turn, I make a little bit of a misplay in the long run of things. After Tentacruel goes down here, what I should have done, guys, is I should have gone out to my Kartana, and then with Kartana I should have clicked Smart Strike to kill Garchomp. If I clicked Smart Strike to kill Garchomp, it would have prevented his Articu-No from coming in. It would have forced his Keldeo in on the T-Spike. But what I do instead, which was again a bit of a misplay, this is kind of us learning together about this team, I click Leaf Blade, and that's a bad thing because now his Articu-No can come in, and because it's a bit more defensive, it will be able to actually wall me here a bit, and that's really annoying because as you're going to see, the Leaf Blade from Kartana does absolutely nothing. He's going to Freeze Dry and do an absolute ton, and I'm like, shit, this is a problem. But this turn I predict him, he should go for the Roost, so I go straight out to my Pinsir as he does Roost. Now at this point, I was looking at the matchup, and the T-Spike was still up, and I'm like, yes, this is great. What I can do here is basically just Mega Evolve, go for an SD, because I was looking at calcs, judging on how much Kartana's +1 Leaf Blade did to a Articu-No, and that basically meant that Mega Pinsir's return was doing about half, which is not enough if he's able to PP stall me, so I decided I'll go for an SD this turn. If I can get the SD up, I know Freeze Dry cannot kill me, and then I can go for a +2 return, which at maximum damage does 85%, and basically knocks him out. And with the I looked at the Articu-No set after the game, and basically +2 return would have knocked out this Articu-No, and we would have been, you know, absolutely fine, game over, because I had Feint to outspeed and kill the Keldeo, especially after the T-Spike damage. So at worst here, we are looking at a nice and clean 3-0 victory. I go for that SD, nice and clean. He goes for the Freeze Dry, and he freezes me. That is a huge problem for us in this game. So realistically, I shouldn't have had this Articu-No being an issue. I could have dealt with it earlier, but unfortunately now I'm in a very, very bad spot with Pinsir, because since it is frozen, I am now in a really, like, Pinsir will die. Like, I'm not going to Thor first turn, which is really, really bad, as he's going to kill me with Freeze Dry. That sucks, because that would have been game right there. But I go out to Kartana because I know he's forced to go Keldeo here, as I go for the Smart Strike. That's 32%, so I'm like, okay, that's, you know, it's good damage, but it's not exactly ideal. And I go hard out to my Zygarde here, as he goes hard out to his Articu-No. So he makes a really good read there. And I'm like, okay, we've seen this Articu-No go for Defog, Freeze Dry, and Roost. So I was like, what is his last move? What I needed to do here, I realized, was I was looking at damage and looking at how much Kartana could do with Smart Strike. And I basically saw that I needed to weaken him like a tiny bit. Judging on his spread, just a tiny bit. So I figured, alright, perfect, I'll just go for Toxic. Toxic will do the trick. As he goes for Freeze Dry, we can eat that. Well, not eat that, we took a ton, but at this point I'm like, okay, I can go for Protect and Sub and all that shenanigans and kind of ruin him here. Because I can kind of 1v1 this thing, weaken it down to the point where he won't be able to stop me. I can Protect as well on the Keldeo to weaken it down too. Because I've seen that it's lefties, I know that Kartana outspeeds, so realistically, all I need to do at this point is just put myself in a position where Kartana can win. As I go for the Protect though, he reveals Heal Bell. And that's like, oh, it just made this so much more frustrating. So basically what I have to do now, guys, is this is going to be a bit of a back and forward where it's down to me predicting the right turn to go hard Kartana. There's no point sacking Zygarde, because if I sack Zygarde at this range, I'm probably going to lose. So what I have to do is play smart with my Zygarde and then predict the turn where I know he's not going to click Freeze Dry and go hard Kartana. It's a huge risk to take, but it's just about choosing the exact moment as to when it will be best. So he's gone for there. I was tempted to go for it this turn, but I decided Sub was safer just in case. You never know. And he decides to Heal Bell that turn. I'm like, great. Well, I know he's going to click it this turn, so I can go for my Toxic again, which is fine. As he is going to go for the Freeze Dry. And at this range, I can go for another substitute on him, which is awesome, because that's what I'm going to do. I want to try and put him, like, honestly, it's hard because it's very obvious when I might go for Protect and whatnot, so I need to really predict these turns, right? I go for Toxic again, as he goes for Freeze Dry, and it was on this turn that I decided, like, he's better off going for Heal Bell. I can't sub up, but I'm going to go hard into Kartana, and luckily he goes for the Heal Bell, and I'm like, sweet. Kartana can just go straight for the Smart Strike. Keldeo is at 62, Smart Strike goes off, and Keldeo heals to 32%. Now, I'd seen from last time that Kartana now can just kill with Smart Strike, and at this point, it was game over. Absolutely, unequivocally, game over. Unfortunately, because I was still a bit triggered from the hacks that had happened earlier with my Pinsir, I had complete brain fart here, and completely forgot that Kartana outsped Keldeo, and decided instead to, for no reason, sack my Zygarde. There was literally no reason to do that, and I did it, and that was very bad play on my part. From the damage that we'd seen, Keldeo died to another Smart Strike, and then after Keldeo died, I had the Beast Boost, and then there was no way Articu-No was living, and Kartana would have got all 6 kills in the game, and that would have been GG, all said and done, fantastic. But unfortunately, because I'm stupid, I made that misplay, and now there's only one chance I really have of winning from here, guys. Basically, so Keldeo now is getting a lot of health back, and even at +1, Grassy Terrain boosted Leaf Blade is not doing enough. So my only way of winning is to, I have kind of 2 options, and they're both not ideal. So I was kind of contemplating, like, what is the best option, because I can either go for Wood Hammer here with my Bulu, which will knock out Keldeo, but what if he goes hard into Articu-No? And I kept forgetting that, oh, I outspeed with Kartana. I realized it at this point. This was the point of the battle where I realized, oh, Kartana outspeeds. So it was the basic 50-50 of, do I click Rock Slide, predicting Articu-No to come in, because if I do that, then I weaken Articu-No to the point where I can just click Leaf Blade with a Bulu afterwards and just win. Also not Leaf Blade with Bulu, Leaf Blade with Kartana. Or do I click Wood Hammer, basically either kill off the Keldeo, or if he goes hard out to Kartana, Articu-No from here, all I have to do is just keep getting the chip with Wood Hammer until I die, and then there's a chance that Kartana can win. Because I didn't know Articu-No's spread, and if it was a fully defensive Articu-No, then it would definitely live my Smart Strike. So I was just trying to think of the best way to win. So I decided my best play was to spam Rock Slide, because at this point he would just keep on attacking me, and he has to kind of predict Kartana every turn here. So after Grassy Terrain, he's living. Yeah, it was me just realizing, like, I should have just clicked Smart Strike. It was bad. And basically from here though, Keldeo is almost at the range where it can die to Smart Strike, so I'm just going to keep on clicking Rock Slide. As I am going to get the flinch, and that flinch is the big one there that really mattered, because now I realize as well that my own Grassy Terrain is ruining me. Because I'm locked into the Rock Slide, because of the Grassy Terrain recovery, what I need to do now is survive with Bulu and put Keldeo in range of that Smart Strike, and because of grassy terrain, he's always staying above that threshold. So I'm going to have to get lucky, and unfortunately I do get a little bit lucky here, guys. I am going to get a few flinches at the end. So like, this kind of makes up for the freeze, I guess, a little bit, because now the grassy terrain's over, even if I don't flinch here, I just want him to kill me at this point. And it's just bad. It's just the way this ends is bad, because he keeps scolding. I want to die at this point. Like, I want him to kill me, because even without the flinches, judging on the Articu-No spread that he showed me after the game, I had an 81.3% chance of OHKOing it with Banded Kartana Smart Strike. And as you can see here, this is dumb. Like, seriously, I get all the flinches, and I didn't even need them. I didn't even need them at this point, and that's just dumb. So he ends up forfeiting at the end there, and we get the win. Obviously, guys, we both misplayed terribly in portions of that game, and we both know that. I could have probably had a 4 or 3-0 win 2 times in that match if I didn't get frozen with my Mega Pincer, and if I just clicked Smart Strike with Kartana. There was literally no reason not to click Smart Strike. I don't know why I didn't click it. Really confused. I just completely forgot about speed tiers, and that was on me. And unfortunately, we didn't get we did get the result, but it's not the way I wanted to do it. GG to Seb, but yeah, it was still a chance for us to lose at the end there, because if we went Articu-No and we missed Rock Slide with Bulu, and then here we got the min roll with Kartana, we did have a chance to lose there, but it was very, very much in our favor to win regardless of the hacks. So, I mean, unfortunately there, guys, we are going to have to take... Well, I say unfortunately because I just feel like it wasn't a very good win. Like, I'm psyched because it was our first win in the NPL Majors, but at the same time, it's not exactly how I wanted that match to go down. I obviously didn't play at my best. I definitely could have pressured the Articu-No more. I could have gone, you know, if Pincer SD'd up, it would have just won. If I just clicked Smart Strike with Kartana, Kartana would have had 6 kills in its first week, which would have been amazing. It still gets 4 kills, which is awesome. The Grass Gang of Tapu Brolic and Kenny Omega with all the kills for this game. But you know what, we're just going to move on to next week against the Chicago Bears and my good pal Razor. Should be a great game, but GG to Seb. Go check out his channel. We're really good mates, and I felt really bad for this game because we both kind of just didn't play to our best ability, I feel, and then, you know, hacks either way just wasn't enjoyable. But regardless, your Tampa Bay Frogadiers, we pick up a win in the majors in our first week, which is awesome. We go to a 1-0 for the season with a +2 differential, and like I said, next week is Razor Wolf and the Chicago Bears, so hopefully that'll be a good one. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, like this video, subscribe, and comment down below, tell me how bad I am, because I know I definitely could have played this better and won this game 3-0, but you know what, it's only 1 differential different from what ended up happening, so whatever. I mean, it's just one of those things. Pokemon's a weird game, man. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. My name's The Verd, and I'm out this bitch.
I think that Gypsy King said himself that I think it was Gypsy King in his one of his Q&A videos for his subscriber account, said that he wasn't a fan of Tapu Bulu because grass isn't an offensive typing. I think that's where Verd is going to struggle, because he's got 2 offensive grass types. I think that with grass not being the most hugely offensive typing,